Welcome back to George Music for All Four Seasons. I appreciate you stopping by. And have I got what I think is a story for you? I've been wanting to tell this story for quite some time. It's about some 45s I purchased a few years back. I believe it was hang on, I have the date right here. 2018 from a gentleman by the name of Mike out in the New York area. And the Four Seasons, he had listed them on eBay, and they really caught my attention. Some of them were promotional copies and autographed by the artists who had recorded them. Talking back and forth with Mike, we shared several messages through eBay, probably about 4 or 5 pages worth. In fact, he even included a letter and shared the story with me. The story goes like this. He's at a yard sale on a Saturday, and it's an older couple, lady by the name of Helen, didn't get her husband's name, and there's some 45 sitting out, and he noticed, again, there's signs and promotional copies, and she asked Helen, could you share anything with me regarding these 45s? And she was more than happy to. She shared with Mike that her and her girlfriends back in the early 60s and her boyfriend, who she married, would go to this radio station, WADO, and they got to know the disc jockey. The disc jockey was Jocko Henderson. And from what I understand and read in the research I did on Jocko Henderson, very, very popular DJ in the 50s, 60s, I believe through the early 70s. Anyway, her and her husband and their girlfriends got to know Jocko Henderson. Now, mind you, these are young teenagers of the day. Back in 61, 62, he would allow them to come into the radio station, meet some of the artists that were promoting the songs at the time. And let me show you some of the 45s. I'm going to save this one for last, but let's start with this one. This one is by the Paragons, and it's signed, Jocko signed up there. What is it? I believe it's Best Wishes, Jocko. So I bring my reading glasses. No, I don't have them. Anyway, Jocko signed it right there. So that's a nice one. Then we'll look at this one here. This is Test of Love by Johnny Maestro, lead singer of The Crest, 16 Candles, The Angels Listened In, Step by Step, and he autographed it down there too. Helen, Johnny Maestro. It's in pencil, so it's a little light. Then we have another one here. Let me get that one. This one here, Bless You by Tony Orlando. And he signs, to Helen, bless you, Tony Orlando. Now, mind you, Tony Orlando is 15, 16 years old, just starting his recording career. And he's promoting Bless You, which I believe was a top 40 record. But I thought this one was really, really interesting. Then we'll go to this one here. Big Girls Don't Cry, yes, by the Four Seasons. And she met the Four Seasons as they were promoting Big Girls Don't Cry in the fall of 1962 at WADO with disc jockey Jocko Henderson. And it's signed to Helen, Best Wishes, from the Four Seasons, Tommy, Nikki, Bob, and Frankie. Could you imagine meeting the Four Seasons, meeting Johnny Maestro, Tony Orlando? I mean, my God, Frankie Valli and Tony Orlando, this was the very early part of a very long, successful career. But anyway, I thought it was just a very interesting story. Again, Helen and her husband having this yard sale, and then sharing with Mike, who I purchased the records from, how they hung out at this radio station, WADO, in the early 60s, met the stars of the day, autographs from them as they're promoting their records. I just thought was so interesting. By the way, Helen and her husband were going to be relocating to Florida, so they were selling off a lot of stuff. But just so glad to have this one in my collection with the rest of them. And like I said, some of these singers just starting out. And I mean, Tony Orlando, we're talking 10, 11 years before Tony Orlando ever hit. And you know how big they were. And of course, we know the Four Seasons, they were kings of the charts, along with other groups. But along with Johnny Maestro when he was with the Crest. But I hope you enjoyed this story. Just I found it so interesting. Something that I picture seeing in the movies, young kids hanging out at a radio station, and with a very popular DJ, Jocko Henderson. So I just thought it was a story worth telling, and I hope you enjoyed it. Questions, comments, please. And this show we're going to dedicate to Hal. And if you're out there, thanks for signing the records, and more so for sharing your story with Mike, who in turn shared it with me, and it's all documented now. So take care, be well. Thanks for watching. Bye now.